And the American actress Nichelle Nichols, best known for her groundbreaking role as Lieutenant Uhura in the original Star Trek, has died at the age of 89.
Before she passed away, Nichelle Nichols, the legendary actress known for her role as Lieutenant Uhura on Star Trek, shared a truth that had been kept silent for years. Behind the scenes of the iconic series, she faced struggles that no one had truly understood until now. Her revelation opens a door to a side of Star Trek that the world never knew existed. Let's take a deeper look at the untold story of the struggles that shaped the legacy of this trailblazing show. When Star Trek first aired in 1966, it offered a fresh vision of the future, one where people from all walks of life worked together in harmony. At the heart of this vision stood Nichelle Nichols as Lieutenant Uhura, a character who was more than just a face on the screen. In a time when black women were often stereotyped in television roles, Uhura was a groundbreaking portrayal of dignity, capability, and intelligence. For many young viewers, especially black girls, seeing Uhura on TV wasn't just entertainment. It was a powerful symbol of possibility, a reminder that success and importance weren't reserved for a select few, but were for everyone, no matter their background. However, the reality for Nichols wasn't as glamorous as it appeared. Despite the revolutionary nature of her role, Nichols often found herself sidelined. Her character's lines were shortened, her role diminished, and at times, she was completely absent from promotional materials. It wasn't just the occasional oversight, it was an ongoing pattern that left Nichols feeling invisible on the set of a show she helped make iconic. Yet the stories of her struggles remained mostly silent for years. It was only later in life that Nichols openly spoke about the hardships she endured. Fans had speculated for years, but her confirmation of the mistreatment she faced gave us a new perspective on just how much strength and perseverance it took for her to stay on the show. It wasn't just about being on screen. Nichols was battling for her voice, her presence, and her place in an industry that wasn't ready for what she represented. She was breaking barriers, but at a personal cost. She faced being overlooked, her lines reduced to mere whispers in a show that was supposed to celebrate diversity. But amidst all this, there were moments that kept her going. Whoopi Goldberg, a child at the time, watched Uhura and saw herself in a way she had never seen before. She realized that black women, too, belonged in the future, in space, in leadership. Later, Mae Jemison, the first black woman to travel to space, would credit Nichols as one of her inspirations. Uhura wasn't just a character. She was a catalyst for dreams that transcended the TV screen. Despite the acclaim and the impact of her role, Nichols struggled with the lack of recognition. Behind the scenes, she considered leaving Star Trek. Broadway was calling, and she had always dreamed of performing on stage. After the first season, when the opportunity arose to return to theater, Nichols felt it might be the right time to move on. But then something happened that changed her life. She attended a banquet organized by the NAACP and unexpectedly met Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He shared how important her role was, not just for entertainment but for the message it sent. He told her that her character wasn't just entertainment. It was a movement. It was proof that a better world was possible. One where race didn't define a person's worth. King's words hit Nichols like a revelation. She understood then that her role on Star Trek was about more than acting. It was about making history, shaping the future, and inspiring generations to come. She couldn't leave. She returned to Gene Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek, and told him what Dr. King had said. Roddenberry, who had always supported her, agreed that her presence on the show was vital. With his backing and the encouragement from King, Nichols stated she had found a new purpose, not just as an actress, but as a pioneer. Her story didn't end there. In 1968, a groundbreaking moment occurred on Star Trek. Nichols' character shared an interracial kiss with Captain Kirk, played by William Shatner, during an episode titled Plato's Stepchildren. At the time, such an act was incredibly controversial. NBC was nervous about how the public would react. They asked the cast to reshoot the scene without the kiss, but Nichols and Shatner refused. Shatner, in fact, made sure the alternate takes were unusable so that the network had no choice but to air the original, groundbreaking scene. The kiss wasn't just a romantic gesture, it was a defiance of the social norms of the time. It was a declaration that love and unity could exist beyond race. The impact was immediate and profound, with many viewers praising the scene for its courage. Though some criticized it, the majority saw it as a step forward, a message that progress was possible, even if it had to start on television. Looking back, Nichols saw that kiss as a personal victory. It wasn't just a scripted moment, it was a reflection of everything she had fought for, and everything she knew could make a difference. It wasn't just about breaking barriers on screen, it was about breaking them in real life. Nichols didn't just play a character on Star Trek, she became a symbol of strength, resilience, and the power of representation. Her role as Uhura transcended entertainment. It inspired a generation of young girls, it paved the way for new opportunities, and it forever changed the way we look at diversity in media. Even when the road was tough, even when she felt invisible, Nichols never gave up. She knew the importance of her presence not just for herself, but for the world watching. She understood that sometimes the hardest battles are the ones that leave the greatest legacies. Before that historic moment on Star Trek, Nichelle Nichols had already shattered significant barriers. She was one of the first black women to play a prominent role on television, one that broke away from the traditional stereotypes of maids or servants. Her portrayal of Lieutenant Uhura wasn't just a job, it was a statement. Uhura was intelligent, respected, and a crucial part of the team, proving that a black woman could be strong, capable, and just as integral to the narrative as anyone else. And then came the kiss, an act that expanded the legacy Nichols had already begun. It was the kind of moment that felt like a quiet revolution. The kiss between Uhura and Captain Kirk wasn't just a scene. It was a declaration that love, respect, and connection shouldn't be confined by race or skin color. What made it so powerful wasn't just the act itself, but the way it was handled smoothly, with grace and confidence. In those few seconds on screen, Nichols and Shatner created something groundbreaking, and the world took notice. Over the years, this scene has been recognized not just as a significant television moment but as a reflection of the changing tides of American society. For young viewers, it was a glimpse into a future where people of different races could come together as equals. They saw two icons, standing boldly in the face of fear, pressure, and societal resistance, creating something more meaningful than mere entertainment. Nichols herself joked about the kiss at public events, but deep down, she understood its significance. They didn't have to shout it from the rooftops. It was a breakthrough, subtle yet powerful. But beyond the starship, Nichols' journey continued to inspire. After Star Trek ended in 1969, Nichols' connection to the franchise remained strong. She continued to embody Lieutenant Uhura in various ways, most notably in the animated series, where she was finally given the chance to lead the Enterprise, a moment she had long wished for. Nichols even returned to Star Trek in 6 films, each time portraying the role that had become an indelible part of her legacy. And in 1994, she released her autobiography, Beyond Uhura, Star Trek and Other Memories, where she reflected on the challenges and triumphs of her career. Though her career didn't always follow a traditional path, Nichols never let go of her love for acting. She took on diverse roles, from playing a tough madam in Truck Turner to voicing characters in animated series like Futurama, Gargoyles, and Batman, the animated series. Her versatility showed that she was more than just she was a force, capable of transforming any role she played. In 2004, she even appeared on The Simpsons as herself, cementing her place in pop culture. Her love for the arts didn't stop at acting. Nichols was a talented singer and dancer. She showcased her musical abilities in several Star Trek episodes, and later released 2 albums, one featuring classic songs, and another that brought a contemporary spin to space and science themes. Her career was a testament to her diverse talents, but it wasn't just about entertainment for her. Nichols was deeply committed to making a difference. In 1987, she embarked on a new mission using her influence to encourage diversity in the space program. Nichols worked with NASA to recruit minorities and women into the astronaut program, helping to make space exploration more inclusive. Thanks to her efforts, individuals like Dr. Sally Ride and Colonel Gwayon Bluford went on to make history. Nichols didn't just inspire others to reach for the stars. She showed them the way. In her later years, Nichols remained active, making public appearances and always leaving her fans with words of encouragement. She never lost the optimism and warmth that had defined her from the beginning. She understood the challenges she'd faced, but she chose to focus on the victories, big and small. Nichols' message was clear: keep dreaming, keep striving, and keep moving forward. Through her work, her advocacy, and her life, she proved that boundaries are made to be broken, and that the stars aren't as far out of reach as we might think. Nichelle Nichols wasn't just a character on a TV show. She was a trailblazer, a role model, and a woman whose legacy will continue to inspire generations to come. She showed us that the future is for everyone regardless of race, gender, or background, and that we all have a place among the stars. Nichelle Nichols' journey was one of breaking boundaries and embracing change. She was more than just an actress. She was a force who shaped the future of television, space exploration, and social progress. Nichols' impact went far beyond her role as Lieutenant Uhura. She was a woman whose life reflected both triumphs and challenges, each contributing to her remarkable legacy. In her personal life, Nichols experienced love, heartbreak, and unexpected twists. One of the more intriguing aspects of her story was her relationship with Star Trek creator Gene Roddenberry. They shared a brief romance in the 1960s, which ended when Nichols discovered that Roddenberry was also seeing Majel Hudick, who would later become Majel Barrett and marry him. Despite this, Nichols harbored no ill will. Years later, when Rod fell ill, she helped write and perform a song called Gene at his memorial, a heartfelt tribute to a man who played such a pivotal role in her life. Nichols also shared a whirlwind romance with the legendary singer Sammy Davis Jr. in 1959. Though brief, this passionate relationship left a lasting mark on her heart. Later, she was married twice, first to dancer Foster Johnson in 1951, with whom she had a son, Kyle Johnson. Their marriage ended in divorce the same year. In 1968, Nichols married Duke Monty, but that union too ended in divorce in 1972. Wasn't without its sorrows. In 1997, Nichols' brother, Thomas, tragically died in the Heaven's Gate mass suicide, a cult he had been a part of for 20 years. His passing was a dark chapter in her personal history, yet Nichols continued to face each challenge with grace. Despite the ups and downs, Nichols experienced some joyful moments that made her smile, one of which occurred in 2012 when she visited the White House and met President Barack Obama. He openly admitted to having a crush on her when he was younger and shared his love for Star Trek. The encounter was memorable for Nichols, not just because of her connection to Obama, but because it highlighted how far her influence had reached, even inspiring future leaders of the world. As with anyone, however, time took its toll. In 2015, Nichols suffered a minor stroke that, although not life-threatening, marked the beginning of a difficult health journey. By 2018, she was diagnosed with dementia, a revelation that left her fans heartbroken. She made the difficult decision to step back from public life, no longer attending events that had once brought her so much joy. During this time, her son, Kyle, sought conservatorship over her affairs, concerned about the management of her care after her longtime manager and caretaker became embroiled in legal issues. Despite the turmoil, Nichols remained an icon. She passed away on July 30, 2022, at the age of 89 from heart failure. In keeping with the legacy she had forged in science fiction, her ashes were sent into deep space, alongside those of Majel Barrett and Douglas Trumbull, a final tribute to the stars she had always loved. Nichelle Nichols' life was a testament to perseverance, passion, and the unyielding belief in the power of representation. She didn't just break barriers. She built bridges. Her journey from the bridge of the Enterprise to the very stars themselves is a legacy that will continue to inspire generations to come. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out the next video on your screen.